Most people have completely forgotten that dedicated radios even exist, but there is something oddly satisfying about having a device that does one thing and does it well. This little unit from Sungale is a curious piece of tech. It is not trying to be a smartphone or a tablet, even though it runs on a touchscreen interface. It is essentially a dedicated portal for your audio, and honestly, it feels a bit like a throwback to the days when you had a specific spot in the house for music. The first thing you notice is the size. It is compact enough to sit on a crowded nightstand or a kitchen counter without feeling like it is taking over the space. The 4.3-inch screen is responsive enough for what it needs to do, which is mostly just tapping through apps like Spotify or TuneIn. Now, the big upgrade here is the quad-core processor under the hood. If you have ever used older, sluggish internet radios, you know the frustration of waiting for a station to load. This one moves through menus with a decent amount of snap, which makes the whole experience feel much more modern than the hardware might suggest. The sound is where things get interesting. You look at the size of this thing and you expect thin, tinny audio, but the inclusion of a subwoofer actually gives it a bit of a kick. It is not going to replace a high-end home theater system, but for a bedroom or a home office, it fills the room surprisingly well. It is clear, punchy, and doesn't distort when you turn the volume up to fill the space. One of the smarter design choices is the internal storage. Having 16 gigabytes of space means you aren't strictly tied to a Wi-Fi signal if you want to listen to your own library. You can load up your favorite albums and take the device into the backyard or another room without worrying about buffering or connection drops. The portability is a nice touch, too. It is light, and the battery life is solid enough to get you through a long afternoon of listening without needing to hunt for a power outlet. If there is a downside, it is that the interface can feel a little bit basic compared to the slick apps on a modern phone. It is functional, sure, but it lacks that polished, high-end aesthetic you might be used to. Also, the screen is small, so if you have larger fingers, you might find yourself being a bit more deliberate with your taps. But look, for someone who wants to declutter their phone and just have a dedicated way to stream music or catch a podcast while they work, this thing hits a sweet spot. It is simple, it sounds better than it has any right to, and it gets the job done without any unnecessary fuss. It is a niche device, but for the right person, it is a pretty clever little setup.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.